Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mountain Harmony Gardening. I'm Kristen, and today I'm going to be showing you what you can do in your garden for spring. I wonder, is there anything I can actually be doing in my garden right now? Well, the answer to that is yes. Now that all of the beneficial bugs have woken up, I've seen several butterflies, moths actually, and I've seen some wasps, and I've seen some regular flies flying around. I know that the beneficial bugs are now awake, and it is time for me to get to work in my garden. It's about a month and a half before I'm actually going to be able to plant outside, but that doesn't mean I can't work in my garden. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be spreading out all this rabbit litter that Sebastian has been putting in the garden all winter long. And I want to make sure that's kind of broken up. And I want to mix it in with the soil that I already have. And I'm also going to be removing in some of the other beds some of the mulch. Because if you watched my other videos from last year, you'll see that I have a huge problem with roly-polies. And I know that they can be decomposers, but in the amount that I have in there, they're actually a pest. So I'm going to remove all of my mulch from my beds and let my plants get really established. And before it gets too terribly hot here, that way all the roly-polies have nothing to eat. And I am part of an online gardening community. And that's what I have found out asking the other people, like, what are you doing if you guys have massive amounts of roly-polies like I do? And one of the people found that removing the mulch is a huge help. So you know what? That's what I'm going to try this year. So this ground, I can tell, is still a little bit frozen, but I'm going to try to dig this in anyways and see if I can get it mixed in just a little bit better. Well, I'm finding it's still a little bit hard and frozen in the middle of the bed, but in some of the areas I can go ahead and turn this over. And so that's what I'm going to be doing in this bed. It's turning it over, like right there. Still a little bit of a frozen spot. But let's see, out here, a little bit better. So I'm going to do what I can in this bed. And I'm also going to go around and all of the dead plants that you see along here, I can go ahead and clean those up now. So we'll be back after I have all that dead. Just spreading this out a little bit to make it look a little bit better. I cleaned out all the pockets all the way around the lower part of the long bed. And I got a full entire container of leaves and plant material out of there, and I could see my yarrow still growing, my chives are growing, and the parsley's all coming back, and there's a couple onions over there. They'll probably go as seed this year, and I'll save the seeds. So this looks a lot better, and this is what you can be doing this time of the year when you can't be planting. Now we're going to go on to another task. Well, you can see behind me that I've already started raking out all the leaves that I use as kind of like a protective layer during the wintertime out of my flower beds. It's time for all of this to wake up. So now I'm just going through and I'm removing all of the leaves off the top. And I really like this collapsible rake because I can make it smaller to get into some of the tighter areas like behind this rock, where I can't normally get with a normal size rake, and get out those leaves too. If you guys don't have one of these, I highly recommend getting one. But now it's time to wake all the flowers up. Now the other thing that I'm going to be doing to clean up my bed is I'm going to be removing all of the dead vegetation. This is where my hostas are at, and I want to make sure that I leave space for them to come up. So what I do is I remove all the leaves, and then I just kind of clear back some of the hardscaping, the lava rocks that we have here, just to make sure that when the hostas start to come up, they have plenty of room. And I go ahead and I leave all the flowers on. That way I know where each of my hostas are in springtime. Because if I didn't do that, I would have no clue where they're at, and I wouldn't be able to move the rocks away from them, and some of them wouldn't grow as well. So I want to make sure that they all get off to a good start. And then once they're growing and big, I'll move the lava rocks back. And that's what I do to kind of clean up my other flower beds. Another task that I do every spring is I take all of my garden lights out and I put them in a really sunny location, and I figure out which ones are working and which ones aren't. I have so many garden lights and I don't want any of them to be broken, or like this one I think is definitely broken. But I want to make sure that when I put them back, they're all working. The other chore that I have been working on over the last few days is getting all of our patio furniture out. Because I'd come out here and I'd sit on the steps and be like, I really would like a nice comfortable chair to sit in instead of sitting on just the steps of the deck. So the other day I went and I swept everything off and I got out all of our patio furniture. I have also been working on all of our planters too in our small pots. And I've been removing any of the dead that I can from the pots. And I've been throwing it away and getting them ready to plant. You're probably wondering, why am I tearing up all these boxes and putting them on the ground? Well, if you watch our garden tour video on Wednesday, you'll know exactly why. We are doing a huge project. We are taking out all the lawn back here. Front yard will stay the same, but in the back, we're taking out all the lawn to give us more planting space. And the grass really doesn't grow great back here because it doesn't get a lot of sun. So what I'm doing, which I've done in the past, is you put down cardboard and that smothers the grass. And then you put down, like you could do hardscaping, or like I've done mulch in the past, like when we put in this path back here last year. I'm going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be putting some more of the bark mulch down here, and then we're going to be putting the stones on top. Some of them are a little bit taller than the other ones, so we're going to have to dig them in. But this is a project that pretty much as soon as you can, when it stops snowing in your area, go ahead and start on some of these projects where you don't have to wait for planting. And this is going to take me probably a month or more to get all of this done because I have to save up all the boxes. My herb bed looks so sad this time of the year. Look at all that sage that's died back over the winter time. But I'm going to be doing a complete video on how to clean up all of the herbs and how I'm expanding this, and I'm going to put in more herbs this spring. So look for that video probably here in a couple of weeks. But I'm going to be doing the whole entire yard over the next few weeks. I'm not doing this all today. There is no way. I would be so tired by the time I was done. Plus, I want to show you guys some different videos on specific areas that I really want to go more in depth on how I clean up. I'm standing next to my raised bed garden that I grew peppers in and some root crops at the end, like beets and such. And it is time to get this bed ready. But I'm going to do that on another video because I want to show you in depth how to get your garden beds ready for spring and what I exactly do to that. But I will definitely be removing the mulch and this for sure. And then in that same video, I'm also going to be cleaning up my raspberries because my raspberries are starting to get leaves on them, and it's time to clean this whole entire area up, and it will be nice and ready for spring. You can see where I've been putting all of the lights. This isn't even all of them too. I still got to go around and get some more in a nice sunny location, and I'll come out here tonight and I will see which ones are turned on and which ones aren't. I have also already cleaned up our beautiful planter that we made last year, and it's ready for spring too. I think some of these flowers might come back, so I didn't take them out of the ground. I just cut them off level. Like this is lemongrass, and it's in there really firmly, so its root system actually might come back. I don't know. We'll try it. We'll see. If it doesn't, then I'll plant something else there. So I hope all of these ideas have shown you that Just because you can't plant your garden yet doesn't mean that you can't be getting it ready to plant and making sure that your plants have a great start for spring. So thanks for watching, everyone. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Happy gardening, everyone.